Okay, verse 37, even after Jesus had performed so many signs in their presence, they still would not believe in him. This is John 12:37. It's kind of strange because in John 12, there aren't any miracles. Um, he sits on a colt, and then there is a voice that came from heaven, but it did not come from, it does not say that Jesus performed a sign, it just says that a voice came from heaven. Anyway, I went to the Greek to look at this, and it's kind of funny. It says, so many, however, of him signs having been done before them, not they believed in him. Now, the location of not here, uh, remember the Greek didn't have very much punctuation, so there's no comma um, in the Greek. So we could just as easily read this as so many, however, of him signs having been before them not. So the not might go with uh, so many signs not being done before them. Yet they believed in him. However, they believed in him. You really can't tell where that not is supposed to be applied. This was to fulfill the word of Isaiah the prophet, Lord, who has believed our message, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? A footnote here directs us to Isaiah 53:1. So let's look at that. It said, who has believed our message, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance, though we should desire him. He was despised, we held him in low esteem. He was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. He was assigned a grave with the wicked and the rich in his death, though he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth. And though the Lord makes his life an offering for sin, he will see his offspring and prolong his days, and the will of the Lord will, whoops, and the will of the Lord will prosper in his hand. For he bore the sin of many, and he made intercession for the transgressors. So I think reading Isaiah 53, uh, this is the story of the scapegoat. Again, the scapegoat who was named Barabbas. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him. He was despised and rejected, a man of suffering, familiar with pain. Barabbas was despised. We held him in low esteem. Barabbas, we considered him punished by God. We all, like sheep, have gone astray. Each of us have turned to our own way, and the Lord has laid on Barabbas the iniquity of us all. Barabbas was oppressed and afflicted. He did not open his own mouth. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before the shearers is silent, so he did not open his mouth. By oppression and judgment Barabbas was taken away, but who of his generation protested? Nobody. But Barabbas was not killed. Um, he was set free. He sees his offspring and prolongs his days, and the will of the Lord prospers in his hand. But he suffers um, for the sin of many. He will see the light of life and be satisfied. The Dead Sea Scrolls and the Septuagint or the LXX do not actually have the light of life. So after he has suffered, he will see and be satisfied. By knowledge of Barabbas, my righteous servant will justify many, and he will bear their iniquities. Therefore I will give Barabbas a portion among the great, and he will divide the spoils with the strong, because he poured out his life unto death, and was numbered with the transgressors, for he bore the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. But at the same time, they could not believe, because as Isaiah says elsewhere, um, and this isn't quite a direct quote, but it says, "He has blinded their eyes and hardened their hearts, so they can neither see with their eyes, nor understand with their hearts, nor turn, and I would heal them." Though it is essentially, I mean, what John's Gospel does, it gives you this feeling, or you hear it, but you don't understand it. You see it, but you don't perceive it. It makes the heart of the people callous, makes their ears dull, closes their eyes. You have to go here to the otherwise, and when you decide I'm not going to be bound by this. I'm not going to be bound by the idea of hearing but not understanding, seeing but not perceiving. It's when you uh, decide to invoke the otherwise, they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn and be healed. So John's gospel leaves out this section of the prophecy. He's basically removed that otherwise portion, basically saying that mm, Barabbas himself has blinded them, hardened their hearts, um, making them so they can't see with their eyes, understand with their hearts, nor turn. And in fact, in some sense, John himself, the the person that has written this, has done a really good job of writing in such a way that um, eyes are blinded, hearts are hardened, and hearts cannot understand what's going on. Then we come to this, yet at the same time, many among the leaders believed in him. And the thing about this this phrase, believing in someone, um, what does it mean to believe in someone who blinds your eyes, hardens your hearts, makes it so you can't see, makes it so you can't understand? Believing in such a entity is not believing in something good. It's believing in evil in a way. Um, so when the leaders believed in Barabbas, um, it wasn't a matter of believing Barabbas was a good man. They believed that Barabbas uh, was a criminal. Let's see. But because of the Pharisees, they could not openly acknowledge their faith, for they would have been put out of the synagogue. And it may have been, you know, either people would have believed in Barabbas as a criminal or would have said, okay, I believe in him as a leader of the insurrection. Either way, uh, this would make sense. Because of the Pharisees, they would not openly acknowledge their faith for fear that they would have been put out of the synagogue. And they loved human praise more than praise from God. Because some people believed, you know, some people actually believed in Barabbas was as a violent insurrectionist. And for those people who believed in Barabbas in that way, uh, they would have they must have loved human praise more than praise from God. Then Jesus cried out, "Whoever believes in me does not believe in me only, but in the one who sent me. The one who looks at me is seeing the one who sent me. I have come into the world as a light, so that no one who believes in me should stay in darkness." So this is interesting because it sort of tries to state um, whoever a kind of a definition of what it means to believe in him. Although this also might still be part of the Father, um, the Son of the Father riddle. But let's look at it in the current context. Whoever believes in me does not only believe in me, but in the one who sent me. And the one who sent him is the one who has blinded their eyes, hardened their hearts, so they can neither see with their eyes, nor understand with their hearts, nor turn. So in this particular passage, you are believing a deceiver. You are believing someone who blinds you to the truth, and you are believing in someone who uh, takes away your empathy for others. So if you believe in this, if you believe in the one who sent this, you're basically, I would say you believe in an evil God. The one who looks at me is seeing the one who sent me. I have come into the world as a light, so that no one who believes in me should stay in darkness. So a bright light that causes blindness, a hot light that causes death. I, if anyone hears my words but does not keep them, I do not judge that person, for I did not come to judge the world, but to save the world. So here we go. Here are some of the words. He has blinded their eyes and hardened their hearts, so they can neither see with their eyes, nor understand with their hearts, nor turn. I would heal them. We basically have to reject those words. We basically have to reject the principle that this blindness and hardened heartedness comes from God. And there is a judge for the one who rejects me and does not accept my words. The very words I have spoken will condemn them at the last day. And so, for instance, let's say you read John chapter 10, and you saw that he said, "Very truly I am telling you, I am the gate for the sheep. I am the gate for the sheep." Most people reject that he is the gate for the sheep, and they don't accept his words. They say, "Oh, let's worship the gate, um, and we will be the sheep that are stuck in the." The sheep look up and they go, "Oh, look, there's the gate. It's the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down for its life for the sheep." Or reading John 10:10, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." Who's they? Well, suddenly the thief, who used to come and steal and kill and destroy, now is a shepherd who only comes to take your wool and get your mutton. And they don't need to destroy you. Maybe they destroy you. Yeah, if you're a sheep, there might be some kind of sacrifice or something like that, burnt offering. But the idea is the people that don't believe the word, there is a judge for one who rejects me and does not accept my words. The very words that I have spoken will condemn them at the last day. Because you're stuck in this mindset where you believe that you don't realize that you're the one whose eyes are blinded, whose heart is hardened, who can neither see with your eyes nor understand with your hearts, nor turn to be healed. Um, you don't recognize that you're the one um, stuck in that because you aren't, because you think you are accepting the words, but you are actually misinterpreting them in such a way that they may condemn you at the last day. So I feel like we're not in a consistent father, son of the father riddle, because I was using both and as the father and the son earlier. I did not speak on my own, but the Father who sent me commanded me to say all that I have spoken. Um, Thoughts on this? He's once again returned to a previous thing that John, the person that is writing John's Gospel, has commanded him to say all that he has spoken as, and here he again is John's concept of Barabbas. And here John is saying basically that John's gospel is going to be around forever. So whatever I say is just what the Father has told me to say. John, in turn, is basically following the instructions of Leviticus 16:21, laying both hands on the head of the live goat, confessing over it all the wickedness and rebellion of the Israelites, all their sins, putting them on the goat's head, and sending the goat away into the wilderness in the care of someone appointed for the task. So that's why it says, I do not speak on my own, but the Father who sent me commanded me to say all that I have spoken. I know that his command leads to eternal life, so whatever I say is just what the Father has told me to say. So the word reject could mean either despise or reject. So that's a big difference. There's a difference between rejecting the words of the scapegoat, uh, receiving, not receiving. So the one rejecting me or despising me and not receiving the words of me has one judging him. Okay, Greek, is that an omega, tau, omega, nu? Um, So notice all of these, there's a bunch of things where father of Judah, father. Nothing here has a whole bunch of ancestry stuff in Matthew 2. Then sometimes that same letter, that same word, tau, omega, nu, is just the. Mostly it is the, the. So in essence, what John 12:48, it sounds scary, but the one rejecting me and not receiving the words of me has the judging him. Auton, sometimes him, sometimes unto him, sometimes it. So I think we might safely interpret this to mean the one rejecting me and not receiving the words of me has judgment. Is some like the one not accepting the words of John in John's gospel has a certain level of judgment. Then it says, the words which I spoke that will judge him in the last day. The words which I spoke, that will judge him in the last day. This does not say condemn, it just says will judge. Um, so in righteousness, you could have in righteousness he doth judge. So this is incorrect where they have condemn here. There is a judge for the one who rejects me and does not accept my judge. It doesn't actually say that. It says whoever rejects me and does not accept my words has judgment. And the words that I have spoken will judge them. The word which I spoke that will judge him in the last day. For I from myself not spoke. Barabbas is not speaking for himself, but having been sent by the Father himself, and I'm thinking that would be, man, that's close to Peter. Um, but I'm thinking John, having sent John a commandment, gave what I should say and what I should speak. And I know that the commandment of him life eternal is. What therefore I speak, as has said to me the Father, so I speak. So I think it's very important that we realize that verse 48 has been pretty badly mistranslated here. There is a judge for the one who. There is a judge. It doesn't say this. It doesn't say. It says for the one who rejects me and does not accept my words, there is judgment. Um, so, interestingly, the person that translated this into English sort of rejected his words and did not accept his words. Uh, the words that he was spoken will condemn them at the last day. And likewise, if this is supposed to be the words of Jesus of Bethlehem, uh, those that is not the same as what was given in, say, Matthew. So, in a sense, John has rejected the words of Jesus of Bethlehem because in Bethlehem, he said he was talking about parables and saying, though seeing they do not see, though hearing they do not hear, you will be ever hearing but never understanding. He doesn't take credit for this. He doesn't say, I have made them not understand. He doesn't say, I have made them not see. For this people's heart has become callous, they hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. It doesn't skip straight from there to I would heal them. It has an otherwise here, an other wisdom that they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn. And that is the part of what Jesus said that John rejected. And the words that John rejected are here. They might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn, and I would heal them. And so here, John has rejected Jesus's word, did not accept Jesus's words. All the part about the otherwise, that they would see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn and be healed.